So we do two kind of savings in our life. Any kind of wealth building activities we do that consist of two kind of savings. One it's called short term and another one is a long term. You can call them savings or investment, whatever you like. So the short term primarily we do is for any emergency or the opportunity or just overall peace of mind. But if you look at that any long term savings or investment we do, what is the underlying purpose of any long-term savings and investment? Why do we do that one, right? What is the purpose of any long-term investment? So if you look at, there are mainly three purposes of any long-term savings and investment. Number one is to create the retirement income or the retirement stream when you retire. Then second one is to create some liquidity during the retirement. And finally, whatever asset that you haven't used it, that you want to pass it on to your family as a legacy or inheritance. So essentially, the purpose of any long-term savings or investment is to really create the retirement income, liquidity, and legacy for your family. So any long-term savings or investment is essentially made of two rates. One it's called the accumulation and the other one it's called the distribution rate. So as we talked, what is the purpose of any long-term savings or investment, right? It is to really create the retirement income. It's like the goal is not to go up to the mountain and stay there, right? The goal is to go up to the mountain and then come back down safely, so that the coming back down of the main mountain, it's like retirement years, and going up to the mountain, it's like earning years while you are working and making money. So while you are saving, it's called the accumulation rate, and while you are retire and when you're taking money out, it's called the distribution rate. So one need to understand both the rates, because without you understanding the distribution rate, it is really not right strategy for you to save for the retirement, because the rule of the game during the retirement or during the distribution phase changes. So let's first understand what kind of return you can expect during the accumulation phase. So we talked earlier video, and also I talk in detail in my book in chapter 6 about the historical return of the stock market. Obviously I talks about the other asset class as well, but from the stock market for this discussion, you can expect somewhere in a range of 7%, basically historically the 7% of the S&P according to the measuringworth.com website basically. So that during the accumulation phase, you can expect somewhere in a range of the 7% return. But you need to understand the distribution rate as well, because once you understand how the distribution rate works, based on that one, you should devise the strategy during the accumulation phase. So how much money do you need to have in your bank to retire, right? So what we are talking over here is essentially the distribution part of your investment strategy, right? So the investment consists of accumulation rate and the distribution rate. So if you look at that one, the Monte Carlo, that's the investment software, has done this calculation for you. And if you look at now, a retired financial planner, William Bengen, also mentioned, it's called the 4% rule basically. So what does it mean? It means that whenever you retire, you cannot take more than 4% distribution from your investment portfolio, irrespective of the return or interest you earn on your investment portfolio. And this is probably the hardest concept for people to understand, because the accumulation rate is different. We are talking about the distribution rate over here. That is the time of retirement, because the rule of the game changes in the distribution rate. So even though you could earn 7%, 8%, 10%, or even 14%, still you cannot take more than 4% distribution rate during the retirement. And that Monte Carlo has done this simulation for last 100 years, looking the investment return of various kind of asset class for 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 years stretch, and say that if you take this kind of distribution rate, how long your money will last basically. So if you look at according to that one, even at the 4%, you do have still 10% chances that you will run out of your money. So essentially, if you have, say, $1 million in your retirement portfolio, then according to the 4% rule, you cannot take more than $35,000 to $40,000. That's it. So even though you feel good that you have $1 million, but essentially it's going to throw off only $35,000 to $40,000. Obviously, you can do the math that if you have a $5 million portfolio or the $10 million portfolio, then only retirement income you can take out from your portfolio, if you follow this default path, then $350,000 to $400,000. Obviously, this most probably the pre-tax dollars. So meaning that you have to pay taxes on this amount. Obviously, you can combine with Social Security and some other means if you have, but based on your investment portfolio, you cannot take it more than 4% out. So I talk in my book how you can really double your retirement income. So if you say don't read my book or don't know this strategy that I'm going to talk next, then you will fall to the default withdrawal rate, which is no more than 4% basically. So if you have $1 million, what you could take out maximum is no more than $35,000 to $40,000. But if you read my book and if you understand this strategy, then you can almost double your retirement income. You can take now distribution anywhere, depending on your age and time you have to the retirement, anywhere from 7 to 13% without risk of running out of your money during the retirement. So how do you do that one? That's where one need to combine the two economic power. The power of fluctuating interest rate, that is mainly the stock market base, stocks and bonds and so on and so forth. And the other one, it's called the actuarial science economic power. That's where you use some of the insurance product, like the annuities and the life insurance and so on and so forth. When you combine the two economic power, that is the fluctuating interest rate and the actuarial science, now that it is going to give you the comfort that you will not run out of your money. It is going to create some buffer assets for you. So if the fluctuating asset is negative, right? Keep in mind, the year you take money out more than you earn from your portfolio, now you killed your investment workers to work during when the market is going higher. That's where this actuarial science will come into play, and that it will help you to take the money out from the buffer asset during the bad stock market years, and they take money out from the stock market when you are making money. So combining the two economic power, you can almost double your retirement income.